Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. In this video, we honor gold's crowning achievement. Let's explore. The story of gold is a fascinating one. It has inspired mankind for millennia. It has been the cause of both good and bad in the world, but really the metal itself is inert. It does not react to the elements. It does not react to emotions. It does not react to empires, to nation states, to cultures. All it does is exists. It can be molded. It's very malleable. It can be formed to represent whatever mankind wishes. But what is its crowning achievement? What is it about gold that sets it apart from other metals in this way? We're going to talk about that on this very day, which is quite special for the mankind throughout the world. But let's first talk a little bit about gold in culture. It has represented many different cultures, and from the east to the west. In fact, gold is rich throughout religious history as well. All religions talk about gold in one way or the other. It adorns temples. It is gilded in paintings to tell the story of man's attempt to please God. And that is what religion is about. About man's attempt to please God, and we use gold to maybe as an offering, as a sacrifice to God in some ways, to show that we are going to show God with the best of what we have by this offering of with these temples, these paintings, and these adornments. We know that gold also represents a store of wealth, and it has for thousands of years. So when we store gold and we have it in our possession, we essentially are holding something of timeless value. There's something to be said for that. But gold says a whole lot more than that. It was created by God, as was the earth, and is something that I believe will certainly stand the test of time. But what happened many years ago is gold's crowning achievement. And that's what this video is about on this quite special day. And what is this crowning achievement that we're talking about here? Well, it's something that was delivered to the Son of God over 2,000 years ago. In fact, more than likely, it was not 2,021 years ago as of the recording of this video. Likely, it was much later. We're going to look at some Bible verses here that talk about these three wise men. And we don't know for sure if there were three or not, but the reason why we use the word three is because of the number of gifts that were brought to Jesus in the time. Matthew 2:1 says that after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, wise men from the east came to Jerusalem. That alone is quite important because the Persian Empire, from where they came, which is the furthest removed from any kind of Judeo belief system. And so the fact that they came from the east and they traveled such a far distance to behold this Jesus says a lot. And of course, they met with King Herod, who tried to trick them into telling them where this king was, or where this Jesus was. Of course, they were told by God to continue home after the journey. But if we look back in time and see what exactly happened during this journey and during this encounter, Matthew 2:11 speaks, they went into the house and saw the child with Mary, his mother, and they fell down and worshipped him. Then, opening their treasures, they offered him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Think about that. They did not arrive on the scene the day that the baby was born. It was a child, not an infant. More likely, it was more than a year after the fact, after Jesus was born. Notwithstanding, it's these gifts that mean a whole lot more than just random gifts that were placed there in the home for Jesus. So let's talk a little bit about frankincense and myrrh first, which I have no examples here, and you can imagine that those gifts would seem to be quite unusual even at the time. So what is the meaning of frankincense? Frankincense is essentially an incense, an aroma, something that symbolizes deity. In other words, knowing that these three men, or more likely possibly even more, that provided these gifts to the baby Jesus, or to the child of Jesus, fell down and worshipped him as God. And that is a representation of what frankincense is about. Extremely important to understand that. The other gift is myrrh. What is it about myrrh? Well, let's go fast forward to what the day of this video is about, and that is the birth of Jesus, and how these three men honored and worshiped Jesus a couple of years after the fact. Well, let's fast forward 33 or 32 years later. After these things, Joseph of Arimathea, who was a disciple of Jesus, but secretly, for fear of the Jews, asked Pilate that he might take away the body of Jesus. And Pilate gave him permission. So he came and took away his body. Nicodemus, also, who earlier had come to Jesus by night, came bringing a mixture of myrrh and aloes, about 75 pounds in weight. So they took the body of Jesus and bound it in linen clothes and with the spices, as the burial custom of the Jews. So the gift of myrrh was a macabre gift foretelling what was to happen in time to preserve the body of Jesus, who had died for our sins. For yes, indeed, Jesus was born to die for all of us. And this is the day we celebrate the birth of Jesus, who was born to die for the sins of all mankind. So now we get to the gift of gold. The gift of gold is certainly something that should be noted here because it represents royalty. And that's really no surprise to many of us. Gold is a symbol of kingship on earth. And Jesus was born on this day 2021 years ago. And actually, we don't know if it was actually this day, but we celebrated on this day. And more than likely, we celebrated on this day because of what happened in the Eastern Roman Empire. Constantine made Christianity the official religion. So therefore, they set December the 25th, which was very much a pagan day, pagan holiday, and he utilized it, their day, in order to honor and represent Jesus. And so gold, imagine this ring that symbolizes completeness. It's made of 24 karat gold as a crown, and the crown covers the head through and through, and it provides some weight. There is a burden to the crown. Gold is a very dense, heavy element. And so you place that crown upon the head, and the weight of that burden is, it's glorious, but it is a burden. And Jesus had the weight of humanity while on earth, being fully God while walking the earth for those 33 years. Gold is a symbol of royalty, and it is noted here that Jesus, being the King of all kings, the King of the Jews. The King of the Jews is a title that Herod had. And so therefore, any child that was bestowed that title upon was a threat to him. That's why God told the wise men to leave and go back without meeting with Herod, though they had said they would. They didn't fall for the trick. But gold, as we hold gold in our possession, I believe it is something, in a sense, holy, because it does represent creation of the earth. It represents God himself in a way, because gold is something that recognizes the kingship of God or Jesus in heaven and on earth. Jesus is the King of Kings, and Jesus was born to die, and kings die on earth, but Jesus rose again from the dead and is a king that shall reign forevermore. So a little different take for this Christmas season, and I think gold plays an integral part in representing what God has done for us, in providing us a king that walked the earth amongst us, that took time even for the children of the age. And with gold, it's something that we can be reminded of for what Jesus has done for us throughout history. So I hope you all have a blessed Christmas season, and I want to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for watching this video and for just your continued friendship and kindness. And I want to say God bless you all. May Jesus fill your hearts full of hope, treasure, and joy. And if any one of you is having a hard time under any circumstance, I pray God's blessing upon you, and I pray for miracles for all of you. So I want to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all and encourage you to have a wonderful holiday season. Merry Christmas to you all.